Sometimes I see people that enter my life as almost like a computer code. So if we see that each person is a frequency, we're all vibrating at a certain frequency. But I tend to see people also like a diamond, multifaceted diamond. So we have all these different facets, these different sides of who we are. Each person around us, let's say their higher self, communes with our higher self and asks for a certain vibration, a certain frequency. And then we reflect that frequency to whatever person. So that's why, for example, some people could see person A as being, toxic or aggressive, whatever. But person A also has friends and lovers and people who don't think that they're toxic. They wouldn't see that side. That frequency would not resonate with them. So in our lives we present, sometimes consciously obviously and sometimes unconsciously, we present different frequencies to different people. We'll talk about our fluffy spirituality to some people, and then to other people we won't talk about spirituality at all, or any of that kind of stuff. Talk about the weather or politics or whatever. But aside from our actual communication, our verbal or communication or interaction, we're presenting an energy wherever we go to different people. If we consider that our higher self knows what pockets are locked up within us, pockets of trauma or pain or unresolved shadow. So imagine it like the big old mansion, and we want to get in there, we want to open those doors and let the air blow through. Open the windows, open the doors, open the curtains, let the air come through, let the light in, and see whatever is in there, whatever dust, to clear and work with and integrate whatever might be hidden in those rooms that we haven't maybe entered for many lifetimes. But we often don't know that is stuff there. We don't know what it is. We don't know where it is. And often, as an old friend of mine used to say, don't go looking for trouble. So if I'm feeling good, I'm going to continue to feel good. I'm going to enjoy that feeling good moment because it's transient and it will pass anyway. And at some point, I'll be feeling less good and I'll be challenged. We don't go digging. But sometimes, and often for me, when I see people around and we work on shadow work, when people begin to work with me or the work I do myself, it's like we're saying to the universe or we're saying to our higher self, I'm ready. I'm ready to look at me. I'm ready to meet some of myself. Whatever is coming up or whatever is in the post, I'm ready to try and work through this. So often just by people engaging with me, beginning work, or even sometimes questioning the work, sometimes just a phone call to see who I am and what I do, and that night they can have rocky dreams, or the next day they can have a meltdown, or they can be a bit all over the place. I'm sure I'll have loads of new clients after this message. But so it's like their spirit knows they've been guided to do this work. They've made the call, they've taken the steps, and then their stuff starts to come up and we begin to work together through this, so I don't leave people on their own. But if you imagine, say, the Matrix with all that green computer code, all the binary ones and zeros, or if you imagine, a big old mathematical code on a blackboard or a whiteboard, pages of x plus y squared equals this, that and the other, and all these signs and things that I don't understand whatever they are, but that's a code for something. And I see people as a code. Those rooms within myself or within you, that those pockets, the rooms of unresolved trauma that we know are in there, the energy within that room is still affecting the energy of the entire being, the entire building, the entire person. So at some point we want to get in and we want to open that room. We want to see what's in it. We want to clean it up. We want to make peace with that energy in there. But we need a code to get in the door. And here's the crux, this is the twist of this video, that comes in a certain type of person, and those people are not the saints and the scholars and the people who love us so much, although they can be helpful. In my opinion, those people are the teachers. They're the people who trigger us more than anybody else. So if you think back of someone in your life at present or over the years who really challenged you, who even maybe being in their company or receiving a phone call or whatever it was, you'd begin to get anxious, to get uneasy, maybe to get angry, maybe to get fearful, and maybe eventually you just couldn't be around them. To me, that person is the key to that door. That person enters our life bringing that frequency, which is a code designed to activate whatever we really don't want to look at and we don't want to address. They activate that within us, and it's now our responsibility to witness that, to integrate that and work through it. And when we work through it, we're no longer triggered or bothered by that person. We can be friends with them, we can hang out with them, they can walk past us in the street, we don't pay any attention. So if we're being triggered, if they are activating a vibration, a frequency within us, it's up to us to clear that, to witness that. And running away from it, cutting the person out of your life, blah blah blah, it doesn't obviously solve the frequency, but it basically takes that code, it takes that key and puts it back on the shelf and says, not today, I'm not going to work with it now. So if we're on a spiritual path and if we're seeking to be free, and some of us are, we go to bed at night, as I did for many, many years, and I still do at times, and I speak to whoever or whatever might hear me, my higher self or my guides if they exist, or my being or the universe or God or whatever you want to name it, and I seek it and I say I need to be free. I'm open to be free. So if we are praying, for want of a better word, if we're dreaming, if we're seeking something deeper and greater, it's going to be sent to us. But our ego often perceives this freedom and liberation as being, the lovely retreat in the Himalayas, winning the lottery, the perfect partner. It sees all these nice things. But what I'm trying to impart here is that liberation and spiritual greatness, or to move your frequency higher, comes through deep diving. It comes through going into that pain, integrating, resolving, witnessing, working through. So it's no longer a pain, so it no longer has a hold on us. If we continually avoid this stuff, in my opinion, and I may well be wrong, we can't evolve to those greater heights. We have to clear it all out. I think I've touched on this before. Some of you probably know Victor Odo. He's a YouTube channel. I haven't listened to him now probably in a couple of years, but I listened to him in his early days. I remember at one point he had a video and he talked about him and his wife trying to manifest a new house. And as they tried to manifest this new house, things started to change. Their old house had leaks, I think, and damage, and they had work problems and income problems and all sorts of stuff. And then they decided, okay, we don't want the new house. They stopped. And the reason was that if we're seeking something new, we're drawing in and attracting deeper work. You can get to the new. You can get to the higher frequency, but you've just got to work through your lower stuff that's still in those pockets, in those rooms down there. I did a video before a couple of years ago, that I wanted to manifest. I was a student of Ramtha at one time, and I wanted to manifest a new motorbike, and I knew exactly what bike it was. And I spent months, and I did a lot of exercises that I won't go into now, and I focused on this. And then one day I was in work, and I was at the back of a house, and I noticed motorbikes. And I noticed a motorbike with two guys on the bike go up the road. I just noticed the bike. 2 minutes later, I noticed two bikes go down the road. And I just had a bad feeling. And it took me a while, but eventually I went out the front of this house and my bike was gone. As a result of my bike being stolen, I had to get off my arse and I had to find a new bike. And I basically found two of the bikes that I was trying to manifest. and I bought the two of them. I bought them week after week in other countries, in Glasgow and in London. And I flew in, I bought these bikes, and I drove them back. And then I got my stolen bike back. It was recovered eventually, so I ended up with 3 bikes. But I had to go through that upheaval of having my bike stolen. So in those moments, obviously, I didn't know I was manifesting a new bike. I just thought, oh shit, I have no transport. I have no bike. What do I do? So keep that in mind. If you want to get to the higher, if you want a deeper relationship, for example, if you want to expand your heart, if you want to know a deeper love and a deeper union with the opposite sex or the same sex with your partner, what will instinctually happen and naturally happen is those pockets within the heart will be opened up. So the trauma or the pain or the closed doors or the walls we've built to protect ourselves from getting hurt from other people, from friends or family or previous relationships, they will be dismantled. That pain will be presented to us. I want a higher, deeper love. I want a greater intimacy. So for me, if I want a greater, deeper, profound, unconditional love and intimacy with the perfect woman, if she exists, if I want that, well then all the walls, all my defensiveness, my insecurity of being rejected or not loved or laughed at, or she's unattractive, all that stuff, all that shit will start to be presented. It's my responsibility to clear that in order to raise my frequency and energy, to have a more expansive heart, more opening, more love, to make room for this more love and this greater experience. Just to be aware of that. That's where we're going. So that's what I see as the computer code. The higher self finds this person with this perfect, absolutely perfect vibration, which our ego mind is terrified of because they make me feel so anxious or angry or fearful or whatever. But it's this 1 in a billion, 1 in a million, 1 in a billion computer code, this vibration that really just fucking gets in at us. And that accesses a huge amount of our trauma or pain or the stuff we don't like looking at. So these people that really trigger us on a 10 out of 10, they're great teachers, they're great people. They're a great opportunity to integrate and clear a huge chunk of our pain and explore the higher vibration, the higher frequency, the higher love or power or whatever you want to call it on the other side of that. So embrace those people, not physically, but in your mind be aware of them and be aware of what they're presenting. An opportunity to get freer. Anyway, thanks for listening. Enjoy your day. There's links below for my newsletter, for my shadow work course and my Instagram account. Thank you.